Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Imran Hussain. You are welcome, you are all welcome in my presentation. Today I'm going to talk over the national savings identity of United States as well as China. We all know that both are gigantic and ruling economy across the world, but there will be some key traits or there will be some specific feature that make them distinctive from each other. So I'm going to highlight the specific point of the savings identity, the national savings identity of both countries. So initially I would like to highlight the national savings identity of United States. So on the screen we could see that the US experiences both sorts of deficit budget and current account deficit. So we'll try to point out the key feature, how it copes with, how it manages its fund for deficit budget as well as current account deficit. So initially we will take a hypothetical example that will make us clear and that will make us apprehend about its inner scenario. So let's take a look. So we'll find that G minus T, that's mean government expenditure minus tax. It shows a negative balance. That means the government of US faces budget deficit. On the other hand, that will find that savings minus investment plus import minus export. It means that it can be explained another way, that will be supply for loanable funds for deficit budget. But when a country experiences import minus export with positive balance, that means it can't account deficit, because the amount of import surpasses the amount of export. So that are deficit budget for a country. So let's take a look the example that are given on the screen. So here we find that government expenditure minus tax, it's showing negative balance or negative number. That's mean it is a budget deficit, and import minus export is equal 500 million. It is positive. That's mean and the economy witnesses the current account deficit. So when you take that, we'll find that S minus I, that means savings minus investment. We know that our investment is provided from the amount of saving. So when it shows negative balance, that means our domestic supply of loanable fund for investment, it exceeds the amount of supply or investment. So it will be a surplus amount or surplus savings. But when investment uh, ex- surpasses or crosses the amount of supply or savings fund, it means that there will be a shortfall in supply for loanable funds. So we'll take another assumption that if savings domestic savings increase by 50 billion, that will find that another uh, equation that both deficit becomes equal. That means that's mean government expenditure minus tax, and that will be equal to the S minus savings minus investment plus import minus export. So that will be a balance, that will be an equilibrium point. So when a nation faces this faces this shortfall, that will give an access to finance foreign loanable funds. So thus an economy can collect their deficit budget uh, from by engaging to foreign currency or foreign bond financing. So That was an overview of the national savings and identity of USA. So we are now going to shift to China. That's mean the national savings identity of China. So we'll find that China experiences only budget deficit. That means it doesn't experiences like US current deficit as well as budget deficit. It just faces budget deficit. So we'll find that how they manage their surplus amount in export minus import. So initially we'll find that an example, the G minus T is uh, 30 billion. That's mean it has positive, that mean it is a budget deficit for the nation. So on the other hand, there will be import minus export with negative balance. It showing that it shows that the current the nation has a position that is with current account surplus. So when we find that S minus I is equal uh, 377 billion, so it's showing the current account surplus. So when this balance become surplus for the nation, there is an scope for that nation to finance or to provide a fund for other nations, those who are not those who need or require the supply for loanable funds. So thus can create funds for other nation, for other economy, so that they can cope up, they can handle their deficit budget as well as current account deficit in their nation. So there are most popular two countries that create such scenario for their nation. One is China, the second one is Japan. So thus they work with national savings identity and for their country, and thus they manage their surplus fund as well as deficit budget and current account deficit. Thank you.